Welcome again, YouTubers, to my channel. This is Sheldoc's channel. Now in this video I'm going to look at my engine oil consumption, and I'm going to measure my engine oil usage on a daily basis to see how much engine oil I am using up to a point. So what I'm going to do is I'm measuring the amount of engine oil I presently have in the vehicle. It's not full, so I'm going to measure it, and based on the amount that is here, it's difficult for you to see, but I am seeing a point from here where my finger stop, where the oil is. It's not full because here is the maximum marker, here's the minimum marker, so it's about halfway in between. And I'm going to measure this to determine what measurement I have, and I'm going to do this on a daily basis to see how much engine oil I am consuming on a daily basis until the engine oil reaches the minimum mark, basically at the point of 4 centimeter. So we're looking at 4 centimeter, measuring it from the point where the engine oil stops on the dipstick to the point where it ends on the dipstick. It is showing me a measurement of 4 centimeters. So presently we have a engine oil depth of 4 centimeters, and I'm going to do this tomorrow. Today is January 12, 2023. So we're going to do this tomorrow until we reach the minimum mark. Alright, so today is January the 13th, 2023, and I'm doing a second engine oil check to see the level at which we are presently at. So I'm using the same method that I used yesterday to do the check, and starting from 0 centimeters, we are pretty much quite a similar distance as yesterday. Let me check. Pretty much. So we're still at the 4 centimeter mark. So there's hardly any change in the oil consumption when you look at it on a daily basis. And my traveling for the day is 60 miles. So each day I'm traveling a distance of 60 miles. So I am using this to relate a constant traveling distance on a daily basis. I won't be doing this on the weekend because I don't really travel much, if I travel any at all, on the weekend. So I'm just going to do it during the weekdays when I travel, so that we can have, some better results to work with. All right, so based on my oil consumption check, which is today the third day, my oil is almost dropped up to a level of 10 millimeters. So where my finger is where the oil is on the dipstick, and the point is where the 0 is. So I have, within the space of 3 days, about a 10 millimeter drop in the oil. Presently I'm going to check it January 19 to see the amount of oil that I presently have. So here I just took up the dipstick, and you can actually see the oil marker at this point here. So I'm going to use the ruler to measure it, and we presently have 3 centimeter measurement, which is 30 millimeters. So at the 19th of this month we are at 30 millimeters, or 3 centimeters. Alright, so today is the 20th of January, and so far I have covered basically 6 days, and as I said, for each day I would cover 60 miles. So 60 times 6, we are ending up with 360 miles that I have covered so far. And I am going to check again my oil consumption for that 360 miles. So here we are again with the dipstick, and basically Let's see if I can find where the oil is. So the oil is presently at this point on the dipstick, and I'm going to use the ruler to measure the oil as it is presently, and we're still at the point of 3 centimeters or 30 millimeters. So basically I've not moved from that point since I've done it yesterday. So here we have covered 6 days, a totaling of 360 miles, and basically from the first time I've checked it until now, we have just gone 10 millimeters in distance for the amount of oil I've consumed, or we have gone 1 centimeter in distance for the total oil that I have consumed for the 360 miles so far. Alright, so today is the 7th day that I am checking my oil consumption, and I don't think I'm gonna go further than today because I don't want, when I'm driving, that my vehicle is using the oil, picking it up from the oil swamp, and then I'm left with a little bit of oil left in the oil swamp to lubricate the pistons properly. So I don't want that to happen, so I am going to fill my oil swamp today with new oil because I've gotten some amount of reduction in the oil that I've been using. So I'm going to do my final testing today. So here I'm going to check to find out how much oil I have consumed over a 7-day period. So today is the 7th day, and I am just measuring to find out how much oil I've consumed between yesterday and today. And what I have realized, I have gone down to 2.5 centimeters because the oil is pretty much at this point where my finger is at, and if you check it, that is basically 2.5 centimeters or 25 millimeters. So this is where I am presently at for today, the 7th day. And as I said, I'm not going to go any further because as we pull the oil from the oil swamp, this measurement is going to drop further, having very little bit of oil left in the oil swamp to lubricate the engine properly. So I'm not going to go any further than today. I'm going to refill. And I've been carrying out other experiments apart from the oil consumption that I am measuring for this video. For example, what I have done is to drive the vehicle for the 60 miles that I have covered on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. I've driven the vehicle no faster than 80 kilometers and no slower than, say, 50 or 50 kilometers. So between 50 and 80 kilometers, that is where I drive the vehicle, and I ensure that I maintain that speed for the vehicle. And it helped me to keep my engine oil longer, as well as to keep the engine oil cleaner, because I've been using this piece of material over the period that I've been doing this video. And if you notice the spots that are on the vehicle, there are some spots here, and if you notice, the spots are basically clean. Even though we are seeing this as is now, when it is dry, it will come to be like these spots. So what it is telling me is that I am having my oil cleaner for longer, and it not only helped me to keep my oil cleaner for longer, but driving 80 kilometers or a little bit less than 80 kilometers when I'm driving for the 60 miles that I am driving to and from work, it also helps me to reduce my gas consumption. So usually I will use approximately one full tank of gas to traverse the 5 days, but since I've driven 80 kilometers and less, I noticed that I am using I am saving a little bit more than a quarter tank. So I am not using up the full tank as I usually do. So it has helped me by driving a little bit slower to maintain the amount of gas that I have in my vehicle, to keep my oil cleaner, and to cause the engine to burn less oil so that I can have cleaner oil for longer in the vehicle. Well, hopefully this experiment have helped some persons, and I know that a lot of persons would rather drive their vehicle much faster than 80 kilometers. But if you want to keep the engine running smoother, better, and will serve you for longer, I guess this is a way of doing it. But as I said, a lot of people, it's, driving that speed 80 kilometers and below is not that practical for some persons. But I'm going to try and do this over a period of time for myself to see the performance of the vehicle and to see the oil consumption as the vehicle age with doing that experiment. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video is of some help to you. Please subscribe and have yourself a nice time.